This video is all about, or for, I should say, anyone who might be struggling at any level with their identity. Perhaps like me, you find yourself from time to time, in different seasons of your life, you find yourself kind of lost. Like, man, I'm not even really sure who I am. Maybe you find yourself kind of wandering a bit of a wilderness where you've had some loss, some grief, things haven't worked out as you'd planned, you've kind of got burnt out on dead religion, you've got burnt out on work, you've got burnt out on relationships, and your life has just turned upside down, and now you're kind of sitting around looking at yourself going, well, who the hell am I? Like, I don't know who I am, And you get kind of confused by that, and it feels like you've lost that depth of connection that you once had, that really deep place where you were connected to life, to God, to people, to your identity in a sense as a son or a daughter of God. And you have found yourself now kind of just lost, just sort of floating, maybe sort of just floating around without any real sort of connection into the depths or the deeper parts of your spirit. So you're not alone. I'm 57 and I hate to say it, but I've spent a lot of time in that place over the years where I've just sort of lost myself and lost my roots and my bearings, if you like. I wrote a book some time back which never really got published or anything, but it was just something that I wrote and shared with a few people, but it was about finding your true north, and understanding our direction and our purpose. In this one was particularly about men, Australian men in particular, but just got the feeling that many of us are lost, and over this last year there's been a lot of chaos, a lot of death, a lot of sadness and grief, and so if you're one of those that have lost your identity, just hang in there with me for the next 5 minutes or so, 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll just share a couple of things that have been really helpful to me as I've sort of regathered myself over different seasons of life. So just as I was coming down here this morning to this beach place, I was sort of meditating on something I just heard in a video I was listening to this morning, which was about love. Perfect love casts out fear. There is no fear in love. Perfect love casts out fear. Because fear has to do with punishment or retribution, or we could even turn that around and say when we're perfected in love, we understand that punishment is not a part of the picture. Interesting scripture to mull over and to meditate on, to think about perfect love and the absence of fear, because oftentimes when we get lost, there's a great anxiety and an angst on the deeper parts of ourself, and they're kind of like almost take over, and there's a fear of what's next, where am I going, who am I, what's going on, like everything seems turned upside down, and we become very fearful. And I think a lot of our fear has to do with sort of the feeling of loss, feelings of maybe there's some form of punishment, something that's going to happen to me, some sort of something that's consequence is going to happen from where I'm at the moment. But perfect love tells us it's okay. You're just in a season of change. You're in a season where things are changing in your life, and at the moment you feel unrest and anxiety and some fears, but perfect love calls you in deeper to go, it's okay. We've got this. Together we can get through this. This is going to take you to another place, another area, another season of your life, and this is just a kind of a winter or an autumn season. Some of the leaves are falling off and it feels quite uncomfortable. But don't be afraid. It's the first one. Let's not be afraid, but just hold our ground. We're okay. We're all right where we are. The next thing I was thinking of is like, who are we? Like deeper within. We're sons and daughters of God, aren't we? We're sons and daughters of the Most High. We're called out. Talks about it in Ephesians. I was sharing this with someone yesterday. Like, it's huge. We're called out people. We're adopted sons and daughters. We're brought into the family. The picture of Christ as the overarching everything The one who loved us before the foundation of the world, we were found in him. Not having our own righteousness, not having to make our own way, but because of his love, we were already in the family, adopted, accepted in the beloved, absolutely accepted. So that's a position again where we sit. Regardless of how we're feeling, we are accepted. We are loved, there is no fear, we are accepted, therefore we are okay where we are. May not feel great, understand that feeling, but it's okay where we are. There's no need to fear or be worried about that position, but to know that we are deeply rooted into Christ. Regardless of anything that we do or don't do, we are safe and secure in his arms.